Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference. I'd like to take your questions.
谢谢发言人。总台央视记者提问：今天是中国和欧盟建交50周年纪念日。
Today marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and the EU. How do you characterize the development of bilateral relations over the past 5 decades, and what's your expectation for the bilateral relations going forward? In May 1975, then Premier Zhou Enlai met with the then visiting Vice President of the European Economic Committee Commission, Sir Christopher Soames, and they announced the decision to establish diplomatic relations between China and the EEC, which was a major incident in international relations at that time. Over the past 50 years, China and EU have formed strong economic interdependence. Bilateral trade has surged from $2.4 billion to $785.8 billion annually, increasing by more than 300 times, and the trade volume for a single day now is equivalent to that of a whole year in the past. The two sides have conducted productive multilateral coordination and cooperation in response to climate change and other challenges. This cooperation has not only delivered tangible benefits to the nearly 2 billion people, both sides, but also made important contributions to world stability and prosperity. The most valuable experience of the 50-year history of China-EU relations is mutual respect and seeking common ground while shelving differences. China and the EU have different histories, cultures, and systems, but as long as both sides respect each other's development path and social system chosen by their people, seek common ground, set aside and overcome differences whenever possible, we can always achieve common progress, win-win results, and mutual success. The world is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century, and the international landscape is evolving at a faster pace. Unilateralism, protectionism, and power politics and hegemonism have dealt a heavy blow to the international rules and order, and humanity is once again at a crucial crossroads. Despite a changing world, the basic fact remains unchanged that for China and EU, cooperation, consensus, and opportunities far outweigh competition, differences, and risks. Also, both sides' pursuit of supporting multilateralism and openness and cooperation remains unchanged. China and EU together account for over 1/3 of the world's economy and over a quarter of global trade. As long as China and EU choose for dialogue and cooperation, there will be no room for camp confrontation. As long as China and EU choose for openness and win-win results, there will be no fundamental reversal in the trend of economic globalization. China and EU, when joining hands, will achieve mutual success and light up the world. There are many important things on the agenda between China and EU this year. China welcomes European Council President Costa and European Commission President von der Leyen's trip to China at the appropriate time for a new round of China-EU summit. Both sides will also hold strategic, economic and trade, green and digital development high-level dialogues. Starting from today, both sides will hold 4 high-level receptions in celebration of our diplomatic ties and a series of events in such areas as economy and trade, culture, youth, sports, and academy. At a crucial time of the 50th anniversary of our diplomatic ties, when the relationship goes into the next chapter, China hopes that EU will work with China to stay true to the aspiration of establishing diplomatic relations, remain each other's partners, step up dialogue and cooperation, properly handle divergences and differences built on past achievements, and forge ahead in bilateral relations, and write more wonderful and successful stories of cooperation between China and the EU. Next question, please.
新社记者提问：据报道，中方已同欧洲议会相互取消交往限制，可否证？
It's reported that the legislatures of China and the EU have lifted reciprocal exchange restrictions. Can you confirm that? For publicly known reasons, the exchange between Chinese and the EU legislatures has encountered some setbacks over the past few years. Under the current situation, the two sides recognized the importance of enhancing dialogue and cooperation. As agreed between the two sides, the legislatures of China and the EU decided to fully lift reciprocal exchange restrictions simultaneously. We believe and hope that as China and the EU fully resume exchanges between the legislatures, there will be deeper exchanges and understanding. This will provide new driving force for the sustained, sound, and steady growth of China-EU relations. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。东方卫视记者提问：那么我们关注到，在5月3日，新加坡举行了全国大选，新加坡总理黄训才所。
Singapore's People Action Party, led by Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, won the general election on May 3rd and will continue to rule the country. What is China's comment and expectation of its future relations with Singapore? We noted the victory of Singapore's People's Action Party, led by Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, in the general election. China offered congratulations on the victory. This year marks the 35th anniversary of China-Singapore diplomatic relations. China attaches importance to growing its relations with Singapore. We stand ready to work with the new Singaporean government to strengthen communication and exchanges, deepen practical cooperation, and elevate the China-Singapore all-round, high-quality, future-oriented partnership to a new level. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。香港无线电视记者提问：近日有媒体称，任何港口以外的港口，请问军方有何评论？谢。
Recent media reports said that the CK Hutchison has been allowed to sail ports except the ports in the Panama Canal. What is China's comment? This report has no basis. Let me reiterate that the State Administration for Market Regulation, SAMR, said it is paying close attention to the deal and will review it in accordance with the law. SAMR also noted all parties involved in the transaction must not circumvent the review by any means or implement concentration activities without regulatory approval. Otherwise, legal responsibility will be pursued. The Chinese government will firmly safeguard our national sovereignty, security, and development interests in accordance with the law and uphold fairness and justice of the market. Companies should abide by relevant laws in their business activities and should not harm national interests. Next one, please.
谢谢。中国日报提问：据报道，5月3日多个议会选举德托夫为新总统。
It was reported that on May 3rd, Jean-Lucien Xavier de Dauvel was elected by the Togolese parliament as the new president. Former President Faile Gnassingbe was sworn in as the first president of the Council of Ministers after reform of the Togolese political system. Do you have any comment? And what is China's expectation for the China-Togo relations? China commends and congratulates Togo on completing the political transition smoothly and electing the new president and the first president of the Council of Ministers. During FOCAC of 2024, President Xi Jinping and then President Faile Gnassingbe jointly upgraded the China-Togo relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership, opening a new chapter for the bilateral relations. China attaches great importance to growing relations with Togo and stands ready to work with the new Togolese administration and to deliver on the outcomes of the FOCAC Beijing Summit, enhance exchanges and cooperation in various areas, and move the bilateral relations forward. Next one, please.
Thank you. Question from AFP. U.S. President Donald Trump.
美国总统特朗普在近期的采访中称，他不会为了和中国举行谈判而取消对华的关税。那么双方现在在谈判上的这个立场有多么的相近呢？有多接近谈判呢？
事实上
In fact, this tariff war was started by the U.S. China's attitude has been consistent and clear. If it wants to fight, our response will continue to the end. If it wants to talk, the door is open to negotiation. The U.S. recently has said it wants to have negotiations with the U.S. Tariff war or trade war have no winners. If the U.S. truly wants to solve the issue through dialogue and negotiation, it should stop threats and pressure. For dialogue to happen, they must be based on equality, respect, and mutual benefit. Next one, please.
Hi, FA News Agency. So, what are China's main goals for the upcoming
FA 社，中方对即将召开的中国拉共体部长级会议有什么目标？主要目标是什么？面对和美国的关税争端，会议是否会讨论贸易多样化？
会议
The fourth ministerial meeting of the China CELAC Forum will provide important opportunities for China and the CELAC countries to discuss development strategies and bring more stability and positive energy to the world. Anything specific about the meeting, we will release information in due course. Please stay tuned. Next one, please.
Thank you. Another from AFP. Israel has approved a plan for expanded military operations in Gaza that the government said yesterday would include displacing most.
以色列称将进一步加大在加沙地带的人员部署，其中还包括将驱离原住民。你对此有何回应？
China is closely following the situation between Palestine and Israel, and we oppose Israel conducting military operation in Gaza. We hope all parties will continue to effectively implement the ceasefire and go back to the right track of political settlement of the issue. Next one, please.
请打开麦克风。
美国中央。
The CIA on May 1st posted 2 Chinese language videos on social media. CIA officials said that the videos are aimed at recruiting Chinese officials to steal secrets. What is China's response? The US has long been using all kinds of despicable methods to steal other countries' secrets, interfere in their internal affairs, and commit subversion. Such moves severely violate international law and the basic norms of international relations, and severely endanger international security and stability. These videos posted by the CIA are another solid confession of its moves. The US not only launches malicious smear and attack against China, but also makes blatant attempts to lure Chinese personnel, even including government officials, to be their informants. This is a serious infringement on China's national interests and a pure political provocation. China strongly condemns it. We will take all measures necessary to resolutely crack down on infiltration and sabotage activities by anti-China forces outside China and defend national sovereignty, security, and development interests. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other questions?
好，那
This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you.